So there's 4 environmental factors that are important to consider for really successful seed germination: temperature, media, moisture, and light. So as far as temperature goes, every seed variety has its optimal germination temperature. That's usually indicated on the back of the seed pack or readily available online. So most seeds will germinate very well in a range of between 70 and 75 degrees. That's a very good average for most seeds. Some will germinate in cooler temperatures like lettuce, spinach, kale, and your cool crops. Others require higher temperatures to really germinate in a timely manner, more like 80 degrees, 85 degrees, and those are things like peppers and eggplant. Unless your ambient temperature is already at those ideal optimal temperatures, you might want to consider using a seed mat. These are heat mats that run between 70 and 80 degrees. These come in very, very handy and can really reduce the time it takes for your seeds to germinate. The next thing to consider is what type of media you're going to use. You definitely want to use clean, fresh, and sterile media. And they actually do make seedling mixtures that are specific for seed starting. And what makes them different is that it usually has a much finer texture, so it's easier for the seedling to emerge. And they also have good water holding capacities to help keep it evenly moist, and also good airspace. And that oxygen is crucial for seedlings to get what they need to thrive. I've poured a little bit of that seed starting mix in a pan here. You want to start with damp media, but you absolutely don't want it saturated, okay? So what I recommend, pour some in a little bucket, and I would put a little bit of water at a time over it, and just work it so that it's uniform throughout your soil until it's damp, but definitely not saturated. You absolutely don't want to be able to squeeze any water out of it, but you want to be able to feel that it's moist. As homeowners, we've really only largely been using fluorescent lights because that's really all we had available to us. For seed germination in that stage, they will put out the minimum required to get that job done. Now the world is moving more towards LEDs because there's no bulbs to change. They're far more efficient. They're becoming very affordable, and they work a lot better, and they work a lot longer throughout more of the stages of a plant's life. There is a measurement called the PAR value, and PAR stands for photosynthetic active radiation. Those are the wavelengths that plants use to really thrive and become strong, sturdy, healthy green plants. So I'm going to just do a really quick demonstration what separates a typical fluorescent light from a happy leaf light. I'm going to measure the PAR value of this fluorescent light. You want a minimum of 80, really. 75 to 100 will do the trick. I would say 100 to 150 is far better. At about a foot above the plants, we're getting 49. Even if I get really, really, really close to the plants, which you typically don't want to do with fluorescence because it can burn, I'm only getting 77. So now we're going to plug in our happy leaf light. This is our 17-inch. Let's do the same experiment here. I'm getting a value of 335. If I put it right on it, which is also unnecessary even with a non-burning LED light, I'm getting 900 and actually 1,030 now. And those values are important because a value of 100 will germinate plants. The problem comes once they come up and now they're seedlings. If you continue to grow under a fluorescent light, or you have been growing under fluorescent light, you will notice they start to get a little bit leggy. You've got the light right on them. Usually legginess is they're looking for light, but they're looking for the right spectrum light. So something is usually amiss with the quality of the light. So when you're growing under full spectrum lights that get a PAR value that high, they don't have to look anywhere. So they stay short and stocky, healthy and sturdy and green. So now that we've discussed the 4 major environmental considerations to think about, we get to move into the process of setting this up. And the first thing we're going to do is choose our seeds. A lot of people, like myself, have seeds that they have collected and still have from last year and seeds that people have given us. So I'm going to show you a really quick seed viability test. So you put some in water and you just let it sit for 10 or 15 minutes. The seeds that are still viable tend to sink, and the seeds that are no longer viable or able to germinate will continue to float. All seed packets, I should say most seed packets, I'm sure there are some not as complete, but provide you with a lot of really great information. You will find out how many days to germination, so that's how many days I can expect to wait before I see it emerging from the soil. Things like lettuce and kale may take 4 to 5 days. Things like peppers And eggplant may take up to 2 weeks. But the seed packs really have a lot of information, so definitely read over those. Other things to consider as far as success in germination. So one is called cold stratification, and that is mainly if you're trying to germinate perennial seeds, they need a cold treatment to break dormancy before they will germinate. Packets will usually tell you that if that's the case. If you store them where I store them, which is in my refrigerator, that 40 degrees, 42 degrees is enough of a cold treatment over the winter to break that dormancy. And the other thing is scarification, and that's used on seeds that have very hard seed coats. And a really great treatment that works on these is just soaking them. And again, if soaking is required, that usually says so on the seed packet, and it does in this case. Soak seeds for 24 hours first. What that does is soften up that hard seed coat and make it easier for the seed to germinate. Okay, so we're ready to get to the process of sowing our seeds. Seed starting does not need to be complicated. You can do it in Tupperware containers. You can do it in anything that has drainage. You know, you could even use to-go containers and reuse them. But I don't typically use these. They are common in the store, and these are really hard peat moss pellets, and you soak them in water a good 24 hours, and they hydrate and become puffy, and then you just put your seed right in the top of each one of those. If you get a system that has a dome lid, make sure as soon as they germinate, I usually say when about 70% of my stuff is germinated, get that off of there, because then you're going to start promoting diseases. That needs to come off as soon as they germinate. So all that talking and this process actually only takes less than a minute. So what we're going to do is use our tray of choice, and we're going to fill it up with our germination mix. So I'm putting 2 seeds per cell. That way, if one doesn't germinate, I always have a backup, and I can always either divide them and have 2 plants that I can transplant or remove one. According to the seed packet, my seed needs to be buried 1/4 inch deep. So I just gently want to press it in there, which serves 2 purposes, okay? So I'm gently pressing. You don't want compact soil in any way, but I'm pressing not only to get it at the depth that is recommended, but it also puts it in very good contact with the soil. So in order to bury them, I'm going to need to add a little bit more soil. Again, I'm not pushing very hard at all. At no point do you really want to push down on the soil. You might want to give it a little pat or a shake, but you don't want to bang it down and in any other way compact the soil. So the time you plant in your garden, you can expect to really shave a full week off using a Happy Leaf Light, because it's so high quality, and you'll find the plants are growing bigger, stronger, quicker. So now our seeds are properly sown into their containers. Even though we wet the soil a little bit before we started, we're going to spray bottle them in. And this is really, unless you have a dome, which also reduces a lot of labor, you're going to want to have a good spray bottle when it comes to seedlings, because until they come up and you can actually water the soil, this is the best way to not saturate the soil. So I'm going to put my tray on my already started heating mat and under my Happy Leaf Light. Okay, so that wraps it up for today and how to get off to a really great start with seed germination. And if you could please like and subscribe to our YouTube page. Also find all of our YouTube videos that have lots of useful information on the many ways that you can use Happy Leaf Light successfully. Happy growing!